This episode of To Make Sense was brought to you by the following sponsors.
We over here at Powerade Company have decided to take a trip to an alternate universe, a different reality in which Powerade was never invented.
Hey man, you got a Powerade?
Powerade? What's that?
I don't know, but isn't there like a drink out there with like electrolytes in it that hydrates you after a run like this?
No, nothing like that has ever existed, ever.
Luckily, we live in our own reality, one where such a drink does exist. Powerade is jam-packed with the necessary amount of electrolytes and vitamin B12, ingredients that can replenish any athlete's energy. Powerade. Everybody can get it.
And by contributions to your TWIMC station from viewers like you. Thank you.
Yeah.
皆さんこんにちは。To whom may concern の新しいエピソードへようこそ。また新しいエピソードをお届けします。
私の名前は Will、彼の名前はスティーブン。もしあなたがまだ見たことがないなここが私が話題を面し出す場所です。And this is our podcast. Welcome. The reason why we did this in Japanese, it was Steven's idea. It wasn't mine.
There was no particular reason. I just randomly thought, like, hey, what would happen if we did the opening in a random other language?
And I think he said a lot better than I did. I definitely stumbled through mine.
I still definitely butchered it.
If there's any Japanese speaking people out there who listen to that intro, they are just going to be like,
yeah,
what on God's green earth are they saying?
If any
Caucasians.
If there are any Japanese people watching, we are both sincerely sorry for butchering your language
and
like
you
that.
You know what? This hair thing I have probably doesn't help, so I'm gonna get rid of that. I apologize for that too. I didn't even think about that until now.
We're out here trying to represent a culture that we know nothing about.
Yeah. Who do we think we are? Logan Paul?
Logan Paul?
Remember that whole thing with him going to Japan and disrespecting the culture, and then he went to a forest where he found a body that hung himself, and he just filmed it and posted it on the internet, as you do.
I mean, I don't remember that because I don't know Logan Paul, but
I remember it was a big thing when it happened, but that's kind of a downer way to start an episode. So let me ask you, Steven, how are you today?
Well, I went to class, and then I went to another class, and then I ate some food, and then I went to another class, and then I came home. And then I went to a class now.
And then I came on here to do a podcast, and then I went to class.
Yeah. Yeah, if you guys didn't know, I actually have a class after this.
At 9 p.m.
Yes, the perfect time for a college class. I would have it no other way.
Yeah. And then I go to sleep, and then while I sleep, I go to class.
Because, time asleep is just time wasted. That's just time that you weren't doing productive things.
Yes, that's part of that hustler mindset that you need to have. Like, screw taking care of yourself. Whenever you exist, you could be spending time hustling and like learning and then making money. That's all that's important in life, you know.
Exactly.
What I mean? Learning stuff and making money. That's all you need.
Kind of like
forget that. Forget all that friendship nonsense. That's all you need right there.
It's just like that guy that we talked about the morning routine of a couple episodes ago.
Oh yeah, the alpha male mindset of like just hustle, just scam people, That's not what they say, but that's kind of pretty much what they might as well be saying. Otherwise, they're just telling other people, "Give me money, and I'll teach you how to be cool."
Give me money and I'll teach you how to be cool. Yes, that's basically what it is. That's basically what it comes down to.
Yeah. So yeah. Scamming people aside, I've been doing okay. I've been going to a couple classes. What's funny is I think for a week straight, I have not gone to a single morning class because my sleep schedule is still messed up from spring break when my sleep schedule
Spring break was like 3 weeks ago.
It was like 2 weeks ago for me. Like, so my sleep schedule turned into falling asleep at 4 a.m., waking up at like 12 p.m., and just cycle kind of repeated. And then, even after a week, it has been hard for me to like maintain that. Because like, what would happen is after I get done with classes, I would get so tired that I need to take a nap. And after I finish my nap, I wake up and it's like 8 p.m. or something. And then I have to, and I just go about my business. And then because of that nap I took, I'm unable to, I'm unable to go to sleep until like 4 a.m. or something. And then I wake up at like 8, and I'm like, I'm too tired to go to class. And so I stay sleeping, and the cycle just kind of keeps going.
I wish that could be my sleep schedule, but unfortunately I actually have to care about my morning classes, so...
I mean, there's a couple of my classes that I need to care about, and then a couple that I don't need to care about. But it's like one of those things where it's like, it would be helpful for me if I just went to class. You know?
Yeah, I haven't had any classes that I don't have to care about, because all of my, well, the thing is, like, all of my classes, except for, like, 1 or 2, have had, like, attendance taking, where, like, that's part of your grade, and usually it's, like, 10% of your grade, so you kind of, like, I can't just, like, not go.
And what's funny about that is how, at the beginning of the semester, every single class claims that it's a matter of you gotta be there or your lack of attendance will hurt your grade. And then by the end of the semester, only 1 or 2 of those classes actually follow through with that. The rest just stop caring.
Yeah.
Here we have next semester comes around. And the next semester comes around and the cycle continues.
Yeah.
So
here we have like the university has like a policy for like every class that if you miss more than like a certain amount of the class, you just automatically fail.
Yeah, my college has that policy too, but from what I can tell from my own experience, it doesn't seem like they enforce it, except for some of those classes that they do. Like the professor does enforce it.
To be fair, I don't think my school enforces it either, because one of the classes that I'm in, there is one person in that class. Like, keep in mind, we're like most of the way through the semester. We have like 2 or 3 weeks left of the semester or something like that. Like we basically had most of the semester go by already. There's a guy in one of my classes who has actually been in class exactly one time throughout the entire semester, and like he's still in the class because like his name still gets called every day and everything, and like it's kind of a running joke among the class now for him like never showing up.
What was the day that he like showed up? Was it the first day?
No, it was literally just like a random day, just like in the middle of the semester where he just was there. And then he just never came back.
And like, I'm thankful that you told me that, because I thought I was being bad with missing some of my classes. I think I've missed like maybe 30% of my classes throughout the entire semester, which that seems pretty tame now.
Yeah, I don't know.
Thanks for you telling me that.
That would still be a lot for me. Like, I miss one day of class and I'm like, oh no. So like
that's how I am usually at the start. Like, I think freshman year that's how I was, but now that I'm like getting closer to like senior grade, I'm at that point now where it's just like whatever. They're like, unless I get a notice from them that they're gonna fail me, which I haven't received yet, I don't really have a thing to care about, right? Like, I'll go to class whenever I'm able to like actually wake up, but like when it comes to me not being able to wake up because I'm too tired, like I'm trying to get out of a bad sleep schedule, and it's just kicking my arse. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's kind of how it is. It's just like, I'll go if it's convenient for me.
If it's
Like,
convenient
if
for me.
Because if I'm going there and I'm like, you know, I'm just tired out of my mind, I'm just like, like, I'm probably just gonna be such a mood killer in that class that I might as well just not be there.
I'm
like,
always a mood killer in my classes.
Because like the class I go to, the particular one that attendance is kind of taken seriously. It relies heavily on participation. And so if I'm just sitting there, I'm just. And the funny thing about this is it's my Spanish class, which ties in again to us, you know, speaking like the intro of this entire episode.
No, you should have done it in Spanish.
We already had a segment before. I think it was an episode back over the summer where we had a segment where we spoke something in Spanish.
Yeah, I don't know.
And I think what was funny about that is when I tried to speak something in Spanish, the audio and like the feed ended up cutting out because there was like connection issues, and so my whole attempt sounded from bad to even worse because of the audio cut up. But yeah, I just be saying there. I just go. If the professor calls on me, I'm just like, huh.
Wait, were you talking to me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's usually how it goes.
Sounds about right.
But yeah. So that's how I am with my classes. And speaking of fall asleep in class, trees hitting in Mario Kart. I had no segue.
That was probably one of the worst segues that I have ever heard.
Yeah. Anyways, as for this first topic, so me and Steven, we are well versed in the video game known as Mario Kart Wii. We have a whole tournament that's recorded on this channel
tournament.
that you can go watch.
It's not really much of a tournament since it's just the two of us playing against each other, but
we called it the Mario Kart Wii tournament this long. We might as well keep going. Ain't no point in being accurate now. That's exactly what I told you at the beginning of the episode when we were planning out this Japanese speaking bit. I was like, we've embarrassed ourselves tons of times. Like, why stop now? You know what I mean? We're 50 plus episodes in. The damage is already done. Our employees are gonna watch this, and they're never gonna allow us to fly planes,
yeah.
which is only an issue for you.
I'm definitely not getting a job.
Well, the thing is, I did try to rectify that by making it short, highlighting your ability to do every single job, which I hope rectifies some of the damage.
I can literally do everything.
Yeah. And by the way, shout out to the people who subscribed to this channel based on that, as well as the other short that I posted, which was literally just a video that was that was left in the drafts. Like, they had a draft option where you could look at all the videos that you recorded but never uploaded. I just found it and I was like, yeah, sure, I'll upload it because why not? And that got like 1,000 views.
And then the video and then you could say the video got drafted to be included as an actual short. I think I should probably mention I can't actually see Will's camera right now, so I'm assuming he's probably making some disgusted reaction.
I left the room because of my disappointment.
Yeah, that checks out.
And you talked about my joke being bad. What was that?
Hey, yours wasn't a joke. Yours was an attempt at an actual segue.
Yeah, something that was supposed to be useful. That joke was just so bad that it killed me. I should probably let you know now. This is a separate clone of me that has just come in now. The previous clone is dead on the ground right there. He died due to cringe, so I had to take over.
Cause of death, cringe.
So I had to fill in. But yeah, tree hitting in Mario Kart. So I came across a video the other day, and when I shared it with you, you've actually seen it.
Yeah,
surprisingly,
I don't even remember when or like under what context I saw it. I just remember it. It was a video. Like I'm pretty sure it just came up in my recommended, and like the title of the video is "How many trees are there in Mario Kart Wii?" And then it's not actually part of the title, but in the thumbnail says, "I promise this is an interesting question."
It says, "Trust me, this is interesting."
So
and
I watched it.
I think it was that thumbnail. It was that thumbnail that said, "Trust me, this is interesting." Now I'm like, all right, well, if you insist.
If you insist. Yeah, so I watched
Yeah.
it, like, it, and not recently. It was like a while back. I watched it just because I was curious. It's like, how many trees are there in Mario Kart Wii? I don't actually remember because I didn't rewatch the entire video for the sake of the podcast because I had already seen it. But, I mean, I get the premise. It's basically the idea of the video is... He says like in other games, like all kinds of games, it doesn't really matter what kind of game, there's sometimes a speedrun category, which is basically just a type of speedrun that people do for how fast can you go like hit or touch or interact with every tree that exists in the video game. And so he just did that in Mario Kart Wii. He was speedrunning just running into trees basically.
Yeah, and that's basically what I wanted to talk about. And what I wanted to propose is once we meet up next time, instead of just doing the traditional like 32 cup track of just like racing to get first place, what if we did the speed run? Like we actually like took turns playing each course that had these trees, and we timed each other to see how fast we could actually hit them, and whoever is fastest is the pretty much wins. I wanted to propose that to you, Steven, to see if you'd be willing to try that.
I mean, I mean, like we could, I guess. It's definitely different. Like it's not. It wouldn't necessarily be a traditional test of our Mario Karting abilities, as it were.
Right, because we have like one tournament that's recorded on the podcast, but like prior to that, we've done so many of these matches. Right, where it's just like a matter of
this is the new season. It's supposed to be the new season, you know?
Right, but that doesn't take away the fact that we've had tons of off-season experience. That's what we're calling those previous experiences. We're calling them off-season.
Off-season.
Right? Yeah, so I think next time we meet up, we're definitely going to do the tournament, but I think afterwards we should do like a bonus round where we try a couple of these maps that have these trees. Like Shy Guy Beach is a prominent one that's in the thumbnail that has all the trees.
Yeah, Shy Guy Beach, everyone's favorite Mario Kart Wii track.
Oh yeah, we just love it so much. We love how like unnecessarily bright it is, and we love just like how much off-roading there is, and we just love how many crabs come in and like get in our way. It's just the best. And the best thing of all is these cannonballs that always get launched in front of you and it explodes you. Man, that's just the best, man.
Just the best. Like nothing can truly nothing can compete with it at all. There is just no competition.
And the only thing to make it better is the tons of trees that are in that course that we can play the speed run with and compete who can hit all the trees the fastest.
Yes.
So, but yeah, this is just a speed run that I just find super interesting. Like, I'm not super well versed in the world of speed running.
Neither am I, to be fair. At least not Mario Kart Wii speed running.
Yeah. The only other unique speedrun that I'm well aware of, maybe you've heard this before, is the one in Super Mario Odyssey called Nipple Percent, where basically you play the game. Basically what you do is you play the game and you try to earn enough coins to buy a particular Mario outfit that's basically him in swim trunks and shows him without a shirt. And gives him 2 nipples, and they call it Nipple Percent because of that.
This is
a real thing. You can look. This is a real thing. You can look it up. Look up Super Mario Odyssey Nipple Percent, and you will see how many like are out there. And it's just like that's just one example. I think one of the only examples I can really think of like a truly like out there type of speedrun.
That is certainly a speedrun category.
Yeah. It's like one that I've heard of. It's just one that I've heard of multiple times. So it's just like, it's just fascinating to me. And there was this video. I think I've showed you videos from this guy before. You know, Doug.
Yeah,
A guy with the orange bell pepper with eyes. He did a video where he did this run, but the catch was if he looked at Mario, then he'd have to reset the speed run. And the gimmick with that was he can't look at Mario's nipples until he buys the costume and the run is over. And he extended it to where if he just looked at any part of Mario, that would be equivalent to looking at his nipples. And it's just like, I find that so funny to me. It's just like, imagine if you looked at someone and no matter where you look, it's the equivalent of looking at like the nipples. So like, you look at them and they'd be like, hey, my eyes are up here, pal. Yeah. It's like, yeah, but your eyes are also nipples. So what do I do with that?
I was gonna say, like, you're making eye contact with someone and they're just like, what are you looking at, you pervert?
You look at their eyes like, hey, my eyes are up here. And it's like, yeah, I'm looking at them. And then they're just like, oh, stop that.
Well, stop that. I don't like it.
Yeah. But, yeah. And, so this was the video, like the video itself that introduced me to the speedrun of tree hitting, basically. I forgot exactly what the name of it is, but yeah, I watched it on the on my Roku TV, and the only reason why I bring that up is because it's the perfect segue to this next topic that I'm going to talk about. Now, on this podcast, there are several examples of me going on and on about the problems I run into whenever I use YouTube, like any time outside of just watching it on my phone, like on my phone app. Like for whatever reason, watching YouTube on your phone versus watching it on a Roku TV, it's like, so like the quality difference of like using it is so much different. Like using it on TV is like so bad because like the ads they give you is so much for no reason, just because you're on TV.
Noticed, like, so for reference, my dad watches YouTube on Roku TV, just all the time, like every day. That's what he does. But because of that, like I know what you mean about like it. The ads really are. It seems like there's a lot more ads on the Roku version of the YouTube app as opposed to the mobile one. I don't know why.
And it applies to like Xbox as well. I've had this happen when I try to watch YouTube on Xbox. I haven't done that since I've gotten the Roku TV, but like still, it's like, you know. And like the ad problem is something that I've brought up before. One thing that I've noticed that just grinds my gears on why YouTube has done this. And this is something that has technically been implemented for a while, but it is something I only started to realize once I started watching YouTube videos on my laptop. Because on a random day, just the other day, I decided to, I was on my laptop, I was getting schoolwork done, and once I was finished, I was like, let me just pull up some YouTube and let me just watch some videos. And I had it set to 1080p, the highest resolution that I could have it at. I was like, yeah, I'll just watch some videos at high quality. And what I noticed was that the resolution was high, so it was like clear image, but the bit rate, like the actual like frame rate of the video was like terrible. Like the bit rate, it was one of those things where it's like it'd be like a moving image and then it would like freeze every millisecond or so before going to a frame like few frames down. Like it would just skip frames, and like it's one of those things where it's like on its own, like in like a singular event, it's not that bad, but when it happens constantly and it's just like juddering around, that's just something I'm like, what is happening? I'm at 1080p. Why is the frame, like the bitrate so bad? So I checked the settings of like the resolution, and you wanna know what I found?
What?
I found a selection for 1080p, which is what I was on, and then 1080p with enhanced bitrate. And the only way to access it is to get YouTube Premium.
That's crazy.
So, you literally have to pay money just to get good bitrate. Like, just to get good bitrate. And I looked this up, too. It turns out that YouTube had lowered the bitrate from what it used to be at, just so they could sell you what the bitrate used to be with YouTube Premium.
That does...
I just find that to be the most insane thing ever, because, like, what the actual hell?
That does sound like classic YouTube activities.
Honestly, that sounds like, what's happening with, like, not to get political, this is not in reference to today's events, this has already been happening, but when snack bars or wherever get, like, shrunken down, but the price still goes up, it's that type of thing. It feels like that exact type of thing. It's just like, you're trying to show more money out of me for features that you used to just offer. Like, just at basis level.
Yeah, that's that's something I don't understand with, like, not even just YouTube, but just, like, companies in general, where it's like, instead of, like, adding new features and then calling them, like, premium features and saying, like, you've got to pay to get them, they'll, like, make features that were previously free be premium free features without, like, actually changing anything.
And offering nothing else in the free version.
Yeah.
To substitute. Like, YouTube is one of those things where it's like, I love YouTube, but for the price that they have premium at, I will never get it. No matter how much I love YouTube, because the price is outrageous.
I
already spend enough money on, like, other services like Spotify, which is also raising their prices to a ridiculous amount.
To be fair, I also don't have Spotify Premium for the reason that, like, I actually don't use Spotify specifically because the experience without Premium is basically unusable, and I refuse to pay for Premium.
That's what I've had to deal with. I've had to deal with that for, like, years. And eventually, once I started making money, I was like, all right, let me go ahead and get Premium. Like, once I started getting a job, that's when I got Premium. And I was like, holy crap, this is so much better.
Yeah,
this
and
way.
Spotify without Premium used to not really be that bad. Like, you still had ads. You still had ads, but, like, you're always gonna have ads, right? So, like, but the thing is, nowadays Spotify without Premium, they, like, you can only play things on shuffle. They force you to, you only get, like, a limited number of skips, and they force you to listen to, like, their suggested stuff. Like, you can't actually, like, you can choose a song that you want to, like, start listening to.
I forgot about that. The whole suggested song thing. Like, let me put it in perspective, right? I have tons of playlists on Spotify that extend way beyond, like, 10 hours or 20 hours, right? And I would listen, like, back when I had the free version, I would listen to them, and even with, like, a ton of songs still in the queue from my playlist, they would just go to the suggested songs. Of, like, songs that I never even heard before. And it'd always be just, like, the worst songs recommended to me. Like, I could be, like, listening to Leonard Skinner or something, like, just listening to rock music, and then they recommend me some Japanese, like, traditional Japanese music from the 17th century, and I'm like, what? I didn't ask for this. Or even better, more accurate to what I used to do, I would listen to, like, rap music, and then they would recommend me, like, songs from the 50s. And I'm like, what? Why do you think I want this?
Yeah.
Like, it's so crazy to me.
It's not even just the fact that, like, that's the songs they're recommending. It's the fact that they force you to listen to those songs and, like, not choose your own.
Once you use up those skips, you can't skip again. So you're just like, you have to, like, go to another playlist, which sometimes they'll feed you just suggested songs that's not what you're trying to listen to. So, yeah. But yeah, this whole bitrate thing with like having to get premium to get bitrate that doesn't look like it would be one thing if the bitrate just worked. And like again, this is only a problem that I see on laptop when I watch videos on my laptop. When I watch videos on my phone, the bitrate is completely fine. Like I see no issue. This is why I've only just now noticed this problem because I don't watch YouTube on my laptop very much, and because of this, I'm probably not going to again for a while.
Yeah.
Until YouTube can get their act together. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, I just had to rant on that for a little bit. All right.
Anyway.
So Steven.
Yes.
You want to know what I did as a kid?
I imagine probably a lot of things, but...
As a kid, I yearned for the mines.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You probably know where I'm going with this. Minecraft movie, it's out, and people are saying stuff about it, and I want to say stuff about it.
I honestly forgot that it was out. For the record, I have not seen it, and I have not even seen like any clips of it. I haven't really heard that much about it, mostly because I don't follow the people who talk about it. But my roommate was actually the one who told me it was out, so I'm vaguely aware of that fact. But aside from that, I'm basically clueless.
Well, we've talked about this movie before. When the teaser came out, we talked about it. When the official trailer came out, we talked about it.
I haven't seen any of the newer trailers. I've only seen the old ones. Also, the other thing that I know about the Minecraft movie is apparently McDonald's is running a promotion with it right now where they have a meal that is based on it. It's not like a kid's meal where like, you know, they put the kid's meal and you have like a toy that comes with it. No, this is like an actual like full-size meal that is based on the Minecraft movie.
That can still come with a toy, as far as I'm aware.
Yeah, no, it does.
Which is something we talked about before about putting in toys and meals for adults. Like, I think we've talked about that before and how absurd it is to me. But
yeah, I don't know.
But yeah, the Minecraft movie. So a couple of things interesting about it. First of all, as I expected, I haven't seen it myself, so I cannot say that this is my opinion on it until I actually see it. But from what I'm hearing from other people, the consensus on it seems to be that if you're going into this movie expecting it to be like traditionally good, like a good story, good characters, it's not that. It is like really bad in that sense. But if you're looking to just turn your brain off and just go, woo, Minecraft, woo, and just engulf yourself into the brain rot memes that have been coming out.
So like, basically every 5-year-old kid.
Yeah, it's a movie that's basically for kids. And for kids only, right? As well as all those adults who just watch it, they just shout out all the phrases like, I am Steve. Fun to steal the nether. Chicken Jockey.
Yeah.
If I were to go outside my dorm right now, and I just screamed all those things all at once,
probably nobody would question it.
Mental ward. Well, yeah, but everyone would just be like,
the Minecraft movie claimed another one.
The Minecraft movie has spawned another one of these type of creatures. And you know, it's bad enough just quoting it, but it's another thing entirely to go to a packed theater. There's several videos of this of people in theaters, and once like one of these lines come up, particularly the Chicken Jockey line, everyone just goes, Chicken Jockey! Woo! They just start throwing popcorn everywhere, just like, yeah.
That gives me the same kind of like energy as the people who like in like big movies with like big story implications and stuff like that. the people like the Marvel movies, right? Like Avengers Endgame, for example, the people who just cheer when like just because a character is on the screen, like they didn't even do anything yet, they're just on the screen and people are just like, yeah.
And it's like, in that case, it's a little more understandable because of all the hype that's built around these characters and like them showing up on screen. You know, like some of them, you know, in Endgame, it's a part 2 of a 2-part movie where in the first one, it ended with half of the universe getting, you know, getting snapped out of existence. Like, just, you know, that, I don't feel so good, Mr. Stark. Bro, how, like, you remember that meme? That's an old, that's like 6 years old at this point. Like, no. I think it's even like older than that. It's like 7 years old because I think the movie came out like 2018, right?
I don't remember when that movie came out actually.
I think it might have been 27. No, I think I don't remember.
It was definitely like a few years ago.
2017 or 2018. It was one of those two, and like that meme of the "I don't feel so good, Mr. Stark," like that. And it's fun to me, like. That, as well as Thanos. Like, the Thanos meme, like, you know the theme of him, like, or not the theme, the meme of him, like, dancing and turning around twerking, you know that meme?
Like, vaguely.
That meme is still relevant in the sense that, like, I still see it every now and then. Like, it is crazy to me. But yeah, back to the Minecraft movie. The popcorn throwing is actually such a big concern. There's actually an image I saw, which I wish I had with me, but I'd have to go searching for it to show you. It's literally a poster hung up by a theater that's like, listen, we get that you're excited about the chicken jockey, but that's not an excuse to throw our popcorn around, alright? Once that scene happens, just contain yourself a little bit, okay?
The fact that the theater has to put up like a PSA about that really just kind of tells you how bad it is.
Like, we know that you get excited over a baby zombie riding a chicken, but that's not an excuse to go batshit insane.
Yeah, basically.
Like I'm just imagining like time traveling. Like, let's say I time traveled back to like the 50s or something with like early cinema, and I told like all the filmmakers, I just told them, hey, listen, in the future, there's going to be a movie that comes out that has a baby zombie riding a chicken, and there's going to be people going crazy over it.
And it's going to be based on a video game where the exact same thing happens.
And then and then all they say is, "What's a video game?"
Yeah, exactly. Because they weren't really a thing. They weren't really a thing at that point.
Or even better, yeah, just like, "What's a video game?" Yeah. But yeah, there's that. Obviously, Jack Black as Steve. From what I hear, apparently he also does do like song sequences where he like sings in the movie.
Wasn't because wasn't Jack Black the one who played Bowser in the Mario movie?
Yes.
Yeah, so like he has a song sequence there. So like I wouldn't be surprised.
Because of how successful that movie became, every major role that he's in was like in an animated movie, or like something like this, which you could argue is pretty much animated, except with the human characters.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just like every song that's like every movie that he's in that's geared towards kids has to include a song from him now. It's inevitable. And I remember in one of the episodes that we talked about it, where we talked about the movie, I predicted what kind of song Jack Black was going to sing, and I would really like to see. I want to cross-reference the song that I made up and the song that's actually in the movie to see how similar they are, to see if I got spot on. How crazy would that be?
That would be pretty interesting. I can't speak today.
Oh. your speaking privileges has been taken away by the higher power.
Yes.
Yeah, by God. God took away your speaking
Yeah,
abilities.
he said no more talking for you. That's the we've had enough of you today.
Yeah. Okay, so that's the Minecraft movie. I rated 5 chicken jockeys out of 5.
That's just gonna be the new term. Imagine that's just it's like the movie's so popular that just becomes the new term for Rotten Tomatoes. Instead of Rotten Tomatoes, it's chicken jockeys.
All the terms that are in the movie start becoming official terms, like flint and steel becomes the new currency.
Yeah, like, flint and steel, the new currency. Yes.
All right, one hot dog, that would be 4 flint and steels, and then the Nether would be like
the bank,
a hospital
or the hospital. Yeah.
Yeah. He's missing a leg. We need to bring him to the Nether.
And you have to say it exactly like that.
You have to say it exactly like that. Like, hold on. Just keep breathing. We're just gonna take you to the
Nether.
The Nether.
Yes.
And then when introducing yourselves, like, who are you? And it's like, I am Steve. What about you? And they go, I am Steve. Everyone becomes Steve.
Yes.
I become Steve. You become. You're already kind of Steve.
Kind. Well, I'm like halfway there. Yeah.
You're halfway there.
Like you could cut a couple corners and get there.
You would develop, but then the yarn started getting dwindled in, and it didn't come out quite right. Your name came out as a paper jam version of Steve.
Yeah, basically.
so yeah, you're like, I am Steven.
Yes.
Like, you just experience a glitch. Like, I am Steve. I don't know.
Then, basically what happened. Chat, this is like the actual lore of how I was named.
Yeah. And then to give a couple more examples, when there's a robbery going on, and like all the bank robbers are in the bank trying to like steal all the money. Once the cops show up, they get their gun ready and they go in the bank and they're like, "I'm coming in hot."
Is that what? Wait, is that one of the movie quotes?
Yeah, one of the quotes. I think it's one of the newer trailers that you haven't seen.
Yeah, I haven't seen very many of them. I've pretty much only seen the one where he says "I am Steve" and then the Flint and Steel one.
There's a point in the new trailer where those wings, the Elytra,
yeah, Elytra. Or as some Minecraft YouTubers would have you believe it's pronounced Elytra, but I disagree.
But yeah, Jack Black puts them on the characters, and they fly, and then Jack Black is just flying down. He's like, "I'm coming in hot." And that's one of his dialogue.
Yeah, just that description of that line from the movie just kind of gives me an idea of how cringe the whole thing is.
Yeah,
like I don't even need to see it. Just hearing that description.
Like I said, if you're going in expecting an actual good movie, you're not going to get it. But if you're going in, like, I feel like, obviously we don't condone or like we don't drink alcohol, but I feel like this is a movie that you'd kind of have to be intoxicated to enjoy.
Take a shot every time a cringe statement is said.
Honestly, you know what? That's probably gonna be a drinking game someone may have already done. Of like, take a shot every time there's a line like that. Like,
yeah.
No, it's like, take a shot every time Jack Black names a Minecraft item. Like, Flint and Steel. Or
I would not be surprised. I would not be surprised at all.
That reminds me of another line where he's describing the villagers, and like it's a line referring to them, like raising wheat for bread, and he just says, "Yeah, they love crushing loaf."
What? That doesn't even make sense.
Yeah, they love crushing loaf. Like, he says like that. They love crushing loaf. This is the exact hand gesture he does. They love.
Oh, I can't see your
crushing
camera.
loaf. What do you have on your screen now?
I have the chat, like the text chat, pulled up with your list of topics on it.
Well, I mean, considering the text chat, this is not a live stream. We've been down this road before.
Well, I mean, I just have that up. Anyway, what's the hand gesture?
It's like they love crushing loaf.
Oh, entitled white girl, basically. That's my description of that hand gesture. I'm sorry if I offend anyone in the comments, but that is my description of that hand gesture.
Yeah. We apologize to all Caucasian white girls, because as we all know, y'all are definitely the most,
it's not
generalized and you know.
I'm not saying all white girls are
least
entitled.
Privileged.
I'm not saying all white girls are entitled. I'm just saying that entitled white
Some
girls
of them
are the people who do that hand gesture.
Yeah. We're not saying it's all white girls. We're just saying that there's some that exist.
Yeah.
That do that.
It's not necessarily a stereotype. Well, I guess it is kind of a stereotype, but
yeah, it's kind of it's a stereotype. You know. Yeah, we white people, we have our own stereotypes.
Yeah.
But yeah, Minecraft movie.
All right. Here on the To Whom It May Concern podcast, we're racist to all people equally. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay, no. Okay, now I don't want to imply that we're racist. Like,
no, that's true. That's true. We're not. Don't get the wrong idea.
But anyways, Minecraft movie, I give it 8 loaves crushed out of 8.
8 loaves crushed out of 8. That's an odd number, just 8.
Well, 8's an even number, not odd.
Well, I mean, like a number that it's not like a multiple of it. Like it's not a multiple of 5 or 10 or like the best you got is like it's an even number.
It's multiple by 2.
Yeah, but it's 4. An even number. But like, I don't know, man.
Numbers. I think that's another thing that God's taking away from you. He's taking away your ability to comprehend numbers.
Well, no, I could comprehend it. It's just like when was the last time you saw something be in like
that's
a
gonna
multiple
be
of
the
8?
title of this episode. That's gonna be the title of this episode. God has taken away Steven's number privileges.
He's taken away a lot of my privileges.
But yeah, go on with what you were saying with numbers.
I was gonna say, like, when's the last time that you heard somebody, like, when was the last time that you heard a number be in like a multiple of 8?
Well, when you say multiple, you mean like 8 as in like what it can divide by, or are you talking about like when 8 divides like multiplies on itself?
I mean, just like any, like, just like, okay, any number that's not a multiple of like 5 or 10, because like those are usually or not even just 5 or like just a multiple of 5, because technically all multiples of 10 are also multiples of 5.
Like
so
5 out of 5, 10 out of 10, like stuff like that.
Yeah.
Well, I just said 8 just to say 8. It had no deeper meaning than that. Like 8. That's the title of this episode.
Random
it's just gonna be
random
8.
Number. The title of this episode is just gonna be the number 8. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna spell it out too as EIGHT. Just 8.
Wow, you
That's
can
it.
spell.
That was the context.
We're so proud of you.
Well, I mean, to be fair, I'm looking at my keyboard right now. I had to look at it and be like, EIGHT. Yes.
You should have just taken the credit.
I don't. Okay. How long have we been going?
That's an excellent question. Let me just pull this up. And we've been going for 48 minutes.
Okay. Or as I like to call, 48 flint and steels.
48 minutes, or
Whatever
approximately
whatever the duration of this
37.294%
episode
of the runtime of the Minecraft movie.
Alright, you know what? I'm going to change the title once again. The title of this episode is going to be, whatever duration this video is, I'm going to convert it into seconds. And I'm going to say, this video is worth such and such chicken jockeys.
Yeah, we rate this podcast episode 4 out of 6 chicken jockeys.
No, I'm not even gonna do it. I'm just gonna spam chicken jockey, chicken jockey, chicken jockey, chicken jockey, chicken jockey. I'm just gonna keep writing it out until there's no more space left.
Until YouTube just tells you to please stop.
Please stop with your chicken jockeys. Like, we understand that you like it, but that doesn't mean you have to throw popcorn at YouTube for it. You can...
No. The title of the episode is "We Threw Popcorn at YouTube." Because of the Minecraft.
Or the chicken jockey.
That's a terrible title.
To appease the chicken jockey.
To appease the chicken jockey, yes.
I feel like the more I talk, the more I go on with this bit, the more I feel like I'm just converting myself into the brain rot. I'm just converting myself into more of the brain rot YouTuber.
I mean, you know what they say, if you can't beat them, join them.
I think that's the thing I said in the other episode. You either die a hero, or you live long enough to see yourself become brain rot.
Yeah, you did say that.
You remember when I said that?
You did say that.
I think it was the last episode. It was the end of the last episode I said that. I remember. And speaking of brain rot, that actually ties into our last topic we're going to talk about. Now, this particular topic, I was hoping that I'd be able to get you to look into it before the episode.
Yeah, well, it has the word brain rot in it, so there wasn't a whole lot of a chance of that happening.
So, you're probably going to have to bear with me as I attempt to describe this. So, before I go into it, let me just explain the context of what this is. So, this whole thing is referring to a show, an animated show called Invincible. And as of right now, the 3rd season has just finished being aired. It doesn't really air, it just kind of appears on Amazon Prime. But it's one of those things where like they still have episodes come out weekly. And as of today, I think the final episode of season 3 came out sometime last month. And since then, a lot of people have been making a ton of brain rot memes. And what's funny about this is a lot of the brain rot material comes from the 1st season and not the 3rd. But I guess they just waited until this 3rd one was done to get all the brain rot memes made of the 1st season. And there's one of the things where it's like, usually I find brain rot to be just brain rot, but it's just something about this particular type of brain rot that's it almost has that YouTube poop quality of like, it's just so absurd.
That is
to the point
that is a high level of quality to give to brain rot.
I mean, you can make the argument that YouTube poop was the early form of brain rot, because like, if you really look at it, it functions pretty much the same. But like, you know, it's just one of the things where if you watch any of these Invincible brain rot things, it's one of those things where someone like me, I can't help but laugh at it, because it's just how, again, because I've seen the show and I understand the context behind everything, it just makes it that much funnier to me when all of it's taken relatively not seriously, you know? So, I'm going to describe a couple of scenes that have been targets for this brain rot. The first is kind of where it all started. It takes place during the very first episode. And this is such a mundane scene that you wouldn't think anything would have been memed out of it, but here we are now.
Here we are.
It's a scene where the main character, Mark, he has just found out that he has superpowers. At work, he was throwing away trash, and he accidentally threw a trash bag that flies up into space. And this is significant because his father is a superhero by the name of Omni-Man, and he's basically kind of like a Superman of this universe.
So I guess that's
So
why, for context, before we
basically-
recorded this episode, it was actually like 2 hours before we were supposed to record the episode. Will sends me a message on Discord in all caps: "Pop quiz, who is Omni-Man?"
It's not who, it's where is Omni-Man.
Oh yeah, where is
It's
Omni-Man?
where.
Which I don't. Well, okay, I guess now I know who Omni-Man is.
And we will get into that. And by the way, I am pretty much going to spoil parts of this show, but I imagine
You say
don't
that like
really
I'm
care,
actually
'cause
gonna watch it.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying right now. I'm like, you probably don't care because you're probably not gonna watch it anyways. But I just want to describe these scenes for you because like I just want to kind of maybe go into why I find it funny by explaining the context. I just want to see what you think of it. So, in the scene afterwards, where Mark finds out that he has superpowers, he comes home and he's at the dinner table with his mother, and he's like, "I've had a pretty interesting day today." And it's in that moment where Omni-Man, he kind of flies in, and he's just like, "Sorry, I'm late. I had to defeat a dragon in Hong Kong. You know how it is."
Just casually, like, oh yeah, typical
Yeah.
Thursday evening, defeating dragons in Hong Kong.
Yeah, and then Mark tells his father, Omni-Man, that he's getting his powers, and this results in Omni-Man looking at him like, "Are you sure?" As in to say, "Are you sure you're getting your powers?" And Mark is like, "Yeah, I threw a trash bag into space." And he's like, "Oh, okay, cool." And so that's the entire scene. You wouldn't think anything would be memed out of that. But there's a video that's out there that takes that scene and just repeats the sound clip of Iron Man saying, "Are you sure? Are you sure?"
That
Are you
would
sure?"
be something to get turned into a meme. Just a clip of a character saying like
Yeah.
like if you think about it, there's examples of that of like memes. Like that's kind of a lot of how memes are born. It's just like a random character, or usually it's like a more popular character that more people know, but like a popular character, but they're just saying like a random line that's not even like, it's not even like a unique line that's unique to them. It's just like a basic everyday phrase, but just that character saying it, and it gets turned into a meme. Like, I mean,
Yes.
Snoop Dogg saying the word "who" got turned into a meme that got turned into the idea for
Yeah.
our original channel. So, like,
And the thing with Omni-Man is he's played by the actor. Do you know who J.K. Simmons is by any
No.
chance?
you asked that like,
Well,
I'll let you answer your own question.
I understand you don't know much, but I'm just trying to see, maybe there's that one instance where you actually do know. Like, so basically he's a guy with a deep voice, and the way he says it in his deep voice is just like, "Are you sure? Are you sure?"
Sounds
like-
like something that would
And I
become
think
a
it's
meme.
the voice delivery that really sells it. And this is by far the most popular form of brain rot meme because the brain rot comes in with just like basically it's just like after every sentence Mark says, it's followed by Omni-Man just saying, "Are you sure? Are you sure? Are you sure?" It's like Mark just comes and it's like, "I had a pretty interesting day. Are you sure? I threw a trash bag into space. Are you sure?" It's like-
Did you see it go into space?
And this is by far the most popular example. So much so, I am actually going to show you something. I'm bringing out my calendar. I actually have the image.
Are you sure?
That's the facial expression he gives.
Wait.
Right
Okay, I know it's just a drawing, and I know I'm uncultured, but I may actually recognize this guy. He's the guy who has like the white shirt, and he's from the meme where it's like, "Look what they need to mimic a fraction of our power." Right?
Yes. This is the guy.
I
we're talking
recognize
about.
him.
So,
Chat, I
So-
did it. I recognize something.
yeah. Start throwing popcorn.
Yes.
And the next episode, I'm going to have a poster that says, look, we understand that you're excited about Steven finally recognizing something, but that's not an excuse to throw popcorn in your own
home. Yes.
So I guess that's one thing I should clarify. This show has had memes before. Like look what they need to mimic a fraction of our power. And like some of these memes came up in season 1. Another one that I think you may have seen before is the scene where Mark basically is told to go into space to fight off an alien or something, and he's like, "How do I breathe in space?" And Omni-Man says, "That's the neat thing. You don't."
Oh yeah, that's the neat part. You don't.
Yeah, so that's another meme from the show. And there's one final one that I'm not going to quite say just yet, because before I do say it, I do need to once again reiterate, not for you, Stephen, but for the audience who's watching this. If you haven't seen Invincible yet, you might as well click off the episode, because this is going to be our final topic. But a spoiler warning for the rest of the things that we're going to talk about. So, thing with Omni-Man is, he is a Superman-type character, and he saves all these people. However, his true purpose in being on Earth, because he was not initially from Earth. He was from another planet called Viltrum. And he was part of something called the Viltrum Empire, and he's known as a Viltrumite, basically. And his purpose is that he needs to get Earth ready to basically be taken over by the Viltrum Empire. So what he does at the end of the first episode, he's part of this thing called the Guardians of the Globe, which is basically
just a rip-off of the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Well, either that or the Justice League is more accurate, with like a group of Superman, DC. Batman, Wonder Woman, you know, all those superheroes. Think that.
DC's version of the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Well, Guardians of the Galaxy is just a collection of just a couple of superheroes. The actual Marvel equivalent would be the Avengers, with Captain America, Thor, Hulk, Iron Man. I don't know why it's called Guardians of the Globe. Like Guardians of the Globe, Guardians of the Galaxy, that's kind of similar names, but that's besides the point. So, I want you to put this in perspective, Steven. Imagine if the Justice League were all called together to their meeting ground, where they usually, like Justice League headquarters, wherever they may be, and everyone from Batman, Wonder Woman, and all the other, like the Flash, all those other heroes are there except for Superman. And then, once Superman does arrive, he starts slaughtering all of them. He kills Batman, he kills Wonder Woman, he kills the Flash, and he kills all the other bootleg heroes that aren't as popular, like Aquaman. He kills Aquaman as well. He just kills the entire rest of the Justice League.
Who's Aquaman?
Well, he's another hero. You don't need to worry about that. But just imagine Superman killing the rest of the Justice League before passing out. Just imagine that. That is basically what happens in this. Yeah, from the stress of doing it. That's basically what happens at the end of the first episode in Invincible. Omni-Man kills the entire Guardians of the Globe. So that clues us into the fact that he's actually a bad guy. And that comes ahead at the end, where one of the superheroes that's in the Guardians of the Globe is a superhero known as Immortal, which he has that name because he's immortal. So Immortal, he tries to fight Omni-Man, but his head gets cut off, which basically renders him pretty much dead. And then, at the end of the first season, in one of the last episodes, he gets revived, like his head is put on again. And once he awakens, the first thing he says is, "Where is Omni-Man? Where is he?"
Okay, so I guess that's where that came from.
Yeah. And that's the next meme that gets referenced, keeps getting brain rot edits of just him saying, "Where is Omni-Man? Where is he?" It's just like sped up, just like, "Where's Omni-Man? Where is he? Where is he?" It's just. So that's the next part of the brain rot meme. And then to talk about another meme that happened before the brain rot happened a couple of years ago, back when the first season. Do you remember seeing any memes of Omni-Man just going, "Think, Mark, think"?
I probably.
Yeah, that was another meme that happened. But now we jump forward to the 3rd season, where I'm not even gonna bother explaining the backstory behind all of it. All you need to know is there's another character in the show named Cecil, and he basically kind of operates everything, like all the superhero agencies and everything. He's basically who Mark, the main character, works for. He's trying to be a superhero, not like Omni-Man who tries to take over the world, but like an actual good superhero. And at the end of season 3, after his girlfriend nearly gets killed by another Viltrumite who comes in to try to kill everyone on Earth, he basically looks over her dead body and he's just like, Cecil! I need you, Cecil! Because the thing with Cecil is his agency has such good medical technology that as soon as someone gets injured, they can basically be brought in and basically revived with like all their broken bones and everything intact. And so that soundbite of Mark just saying, Cecil! I need you, Cecil! That also is the other meme. And what people point out is how it sounds like he's saying sea salt. Like, sea salt! I need you, sea salt!
No, not sea salt.
There's like a meme of like when the fries taste a little too bland. Sea salt! I need you, sea salt! Imagine going to a restaurant and you're just like, hey, I would like to order a smaller order of fries. And you grab the fries and you taste them and you notice there's not enough salt on it. So you get on
Sea salt!
and
I need you, sea salt!
So you basically scream it for the entire restaurant to hear, just like, sea salt! I need your sea salt! It would not surprise me if someone decides to try to do that, like, and it gets filmed.
Yeah.
And,
I feel like somebody probably would.
Yeah, it's one of those things. Like, there's probably some dumb kid who would probably do something like that. And hopefully that doesn't happen from him watching this episode and getting any ideas. I hope that doesn't happen.
Then he's gonna be like, hey, that sounds like a great idea. I should do that.
No, we don't want you to. Yeah. So yeah, that's kind of the breakdown of that. And I think after this episode, I'm probably going to send you some of these YouTube shorts that highlights these brain rot scenes. And I don't know, it's just one of those things where it's like, I think it's because I've seen the show and I know what the original context is that actually makes it funny for me. What makes me not enjoy brain rot material, on top of it just being like overstimulating and just not making sense, is the fact that there's no context for it for me. Of just like why.
Yeah, it's just like random thing is random, basically.
But with this, there's at least a basis that I can get behind that I think adds to the humor. But I don't know, this is just something I wanted to talk about. But anyways, with that being said, I think that'll end it for today's episode. We should have had a Japanese Google Translate.
Wait, hold on. I got you.
Okay, alright. Don't forget, like, you remember our
yes.
ending tagline is, right? I'm just gonna let you handle this, because I butchered my Japanese saying like at the beginning of this so bad. Like, if you saw what I was trying to read.
I'm probably going to butcher this one as well, but we're gonna do our best.
All right. Go ahead and do it.
All right, everyone.
Go ahead and do it, soldier.
いつものように関係者の皆様への好きのエピソードをぜひいいねして登録してください。